Some countries are born in warfare, economic downfall, a death of a monarch, or even a great act of heroism. But the birth of our nation is traced back to a brave people risking everything to create a land unlike any other, one of religious freedom, economic excellence, and a promising future for generations to come. In this new world, they had a renewed hope in achieving this dream. This land was ruled by a monarch overseas, King George III, whom at first ruled his colonies fairly. As King George started taking away rights, freedoms, and liberties of the colonists, they became angry and protested against him. As punishment for their actions, he burdened them with unbearable taxes. Our story begins to unfold when the colonists have had enough of their king and demand a resolution from their leaders. It is June 7th, 1776, and Continental Congress gathers to hear Richard Henry Lee present his resolution.
We have gathered here today to discuss the topic that is on every American colonist's mind, the topic of gaining our independence from England. I would now like to have Mr. Lee stand and tell us his resolution.
Answering to the call of people, I have thought endlessly of a resolution to free us from the clutches of Great Britain. King George has done nothing but bring us unbearable pain lately, and to that I say, resolved that these united colonies are and upright ought to be free and independent states, that they absolve from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the states of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved.
I speak for the people of New York when I do not agree to such a hasty decision.
We of Delaware agree with our neighbor from New York. How are you to retaliate from our mother country that has done so much good for us?
King George and his puppets surprise us with a new tax, trade restriction, pesky acts every day, it seems. It is getting out of control and tension is rising. How can a man consider that good?
I will not agree to this so-called resolution without having time to think further on what is at hand.
Are Delaware and New York the only that attest to my resolution? Please stand if you agree with these men. Fair enough, you may take your seats. We must give these men time to realize what is best for our future. In the meantime, may I suggest that we create a draft of a document of declaration as to the world to our independence, if that is what all of the colonists agree to.
We should have a document ready in case these men do vote in favor of our resolution.
Are there any suggestions or nominations for this?
I suggest Mr. Thomas Jefferson to be head of the committee.
I second that. I'm sure none here would attest.
Who will help Jefferson with this essential task?
I agree and nominate John Adams and Roger Livingston. They would be of great assistance, and Benjamin Franklin, of course.
John Adams, Robert Livingston, Benjamin Franklin, Robert Sherman, and Thomas Jefferson. Please stand. Are there any here gathered today that object to these fine five intelligent men writing this? Then it is decided. We shall meet again the 1st of July to take a final vote. I thank you all for joining me today and wish you all the travels until we meet again.
Mr. Jefferson, have you yet to consider what you're going to incorporate into these documents? It is of much importance, as I am sure you are aware of.
Mr. Livingston, I have not slept a minute due to the fact that this huge weight has been put upon my shoulders. I have to think critically and cautiously, for every word is of its own importance.
Mr. Jefferson, you are the correct man for the job at hand. Everyone here agrees, correct? Congress selected you, a noteworthy young man, a perfect guy for the job.
We were selected a committee of 5 with you at head. We are just here to help you and assist you.
I thank you all for what you have to offer.
We shall leave you to your thoughts, Mr. Jefferson. Good evening.
I got something to tell.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jefferson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Franklin. Care for someone?
Yes, please.
How was your day, Mr. Franklin?
It was well, my dear friend. I'm sorry for stopping in like this.
It's not a problem. I need a break from writing anyway. There are so many words to say, and I can just not find the appropriate ones to do so.
Have faith, Mr. Jefferson. You're the most honest man in the land. You will definitely have success. Your name will go down in history for centuries to come.
I have many ideas. It's just a matter of what needs to be declared with ink and what is already implied.
What do you have in mind for the forward?
The most important issue, of course, the wrong stone to aspire king.
This shall be the throwing of the match of George's crumbling, dry rule.
That is my hope. If we are to set this wildfire in play, we must do so cautiously, so it spreads under our control. We must always be in control if we are to succeed.
Good evening, Jefferson. Are you doing well this evening?
As a matter of fact, I am. I am shaping a new nation with my own words. What could be better? Anyway, what brings you in here tonight?
Well, I've been thinking a lot the past couple nights, and I realized that independence is what is best for the people, and I no longer object to what we bring upon ourselves.
What do you mean, bringing upon ourselves?
The venture will cost us much blood and toil and treasure.
I understand this, as all of us do. It will cost much, but the famous Machiavelli would agree. The end will justify the means. Call this meeting into place today to discuss the length of our beloved Declaration's body and what needs to be incorporated.
Long enough to declare what we call United Colonies, but short enough to hold George's attention.
Oh, he is not a naive king, just a little slow to realize what's going on in his colonies.
For heaven's sake, we must make our intentions very clear and precise, so we shall not confuse His Royal Highness.
Shall we take a look at what you have written? Is the draft near completed?
Yes, I will read it to you. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another,
Go on.
we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with the certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government. Any comments, suggestions?
Maybe take a look.
If you please.
This section is just too long.
I agree. How about what Mr. Lee suggested, that these United Colonies are and are right to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved.
If you were to ask me to do this a couple weeks ago, I would not have agreed. But now that I see these words, I realize they are perfect for our cause.
Then they shall be added. I could not ask for a better group of men to help me put the final touches on this declaration. I had the honor to write, and before I present it to Congress, of course.
And when shall we hold this presentation?
I'm hoping to get the chance a week from today.
Party rock! Let's go! Party rockers in the house tonight!
Will the Committee of Five of Bicontinental Congress, June 11th, please step forward? These men will present to us their document of independence today. This document shall let the whole world know our intent to unite the colonies into one nation. Without further ado, I present to you the Committee of Five. Go ahead, Jefferson, if you would do the honors.
The Declaration of Independence. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve political bonds which have connected them with one another, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it and institute a new government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over the states. We therefore solemnly publish and declare that these United Colonies are, and have right to be, free and independent states.
Does anyone suggest any changes to be made? With a few minimal changes, Mr. Jefferson and his committee, your document shall become the Declaration of the Independence. That is, as long as the few opposing colonies have changed their views and their votes on the 2nd of July, after changes are made.
After hearing the cause of the revolution, Mr. Jefferson's words, how could one not agree?
We shall see what comes of the vote the 2nd of July when the final document is presented. Until then, we shall edit and assess. I thank each of you personally for your dedication to the task of these last couple weeks, and to the rest. Good day, men. Men, this day shall go down in history. For today, if all agree, a new country shall be born. Let us get to the reason why we are all here today. To declare our independence to the world. All 13 American colonies will come together as one confederation.
Before any agree, it is our duty to warn you of the dangers before you back this decree.
It will be considered treason.
As you all are well aware, if you are found for treason, you shall surely face death.
You will be terrorized and discriminated by the Loyalists, even more so than already.
I am not saying everyone in this room must sign it today, or even at all. But if you do choose to sign your name at the bottom of this paper, you will be risking everything. Your life, your family, and everything you have. But it will not be for nothing. It will be for the cause, the greater good.
So one day, our children, if not our children, our grandchildren can live in peace and freedom and prosper on their own accord.
It is essential to understand every word we have to say.
I personally cannot think of a better way to give my life, even if it is such death.
I will give everything I hold dear to me so that my fellow American colonists one day have a nation of their own, our own.
One of self-rule, and one where taxation without representation does not exist. One where the people have a say in the laws that govern them, and the taxes put upon them. One where the people are ruled by the people.
If anyone attests to these statements or this document, speak now or forever hold your peace. All in favor of declaring ourselves a nation, separating us from all others, please stand.
Your Majesty, I have a message.
They cannot do this. They have no right in declaring themselves their own nation. They are mine. Do whatever it takes to stop them and make them pay.
We are trying, sir.
We must win, or else colonies all around the world will try to rebel from their monarchs. The world will be in chaos.